Hello and welcome to TILE Unplugged, your go-to platform at Staffordshire Uni for in-depth discussions about the evolving world of interactive technologies and a whole lot more. On this episode, have you thought about how a placement internship can benefit you? What can it do to support you in your career path? And more importantly, what experiences can you gain from embarking on one? My name is Rowan Walker and I'm joined by four guests today. So I'm going to go around the circle. Please introduce yourselves. I will start with you.
I'm Cherry. I study esports and I'm the events officer at Staff's Uni.
Awesome.
Hi, my name is Faith. I study forensic investigation. I am the enterprise assistant here at Staff's Uni.
I'm Gemma McCann. I'm studying psychology and criminology, and I'm doing a career coaching student placement officer role.
And I'm Siobhan Hammond and I do education studies and I'm also a career coach.
Well, thank you all for joining me today. So we've got all SPOs. So what is an SPO?
So an SPO is a student placement officer. It's exclusive to Staffordshire University, and it's a placement role that you can do either alongside your studies in level 5, or you can take a year out, which would be a sandwich year. So you can take a year out to do your placement separately, so you wouldn't do that alongside your studies. That generally sits in between level 5 and level 6.
Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit more about sort of the details behind it? Sort of how did you get into it, and what that entails, the process sort of thing?
Yeah, so it's advertised pretty much like a job. So you apply for that. As Gemma said, you can either do it sort of separate as an industry year, sort of a sandwich year, as you say, but otherwise you can do it like we've done alongside studies as well. It's sort of a placement with studies, so it sort of goes alongside that. So you can all factor in, it depends on your time, I think, management and what works best for you. I think it's really great though because you get sort of a placement officer that will help you sort of along with that, certain goals you'll achieve. So very much is tailored towards what can help you achieve what you want to get out of it, what sort of skills you want to develop and what you want to get from that experience. You don't have to be related to your course as well. Some of us aren't really on this sort of job that's related to our course, but the transferable skills you get from that are still amazing. They say make sure it's beneficial for you as well.
So then why is it important to take this opportunity, this SPO role?
I'm in JSS, obviously I do forensics. I know a lot of people that don't have any kind of professional experience, and they're not doing like a placement year or anything like that. And doing an SPO role is just great to have that kind of experience, professional experience, so that you can put that on your CV. It's great for your CV. My CV looks amazing. And it's a great opportunity to network. I know we had a ton of events and that was great for networking, building like your LinkedIn profile and stuff like that. You gain so many experiences and transferable skills and all that kind of stuff, and it's just good. It's just good for you, so I would recommend.
Awesome. So how long are you in the placement role for? So are you all on different sort of time periods, I guess?
Yeah, I think generally it's about 24-week basis usually, and they do recruit sort of twice a year. So I think sort of February and July times you're looking out for those sort of advertisements for roles there. It is that amount of time. I think me and Gemma at the minute have been looking up to be extended. I'm not sure about you guys. Have you been extended, or are you still on the?
I don't think so.
Still the same. Yeah. So we've kind of worked for a few extra time, based on funding, things like that. Obviously it works towards sort of whatever they've got projects on or events on. They might want to keep you on, or different roles. Like Gemma, you've sort of moved to a different role, haven't you? And
Yeah, so I started off in the career coach and student placement officer role, and then over summer, due to closing up some projects, I've moved over to an enterprise assistant role. So that's like sort of project coordination within the team as well.
So, sort of, what are the opportunities that you've all had in this role, sort of part of the scheme, and can you talk to me about some of the skills you've picked up in it as well? I think that's quite important in the role as well.
Well, I've had the opportunity to meet with people from Enterprise Rent-A-Car, such as the area manager and the manager of a branch. And then from that, I've managed to get an interview and a job offer from them. I'm just part-time alongside my studies next year, but that can be transferred into a placement year after I graduate. be fast tracked into it.
Oh, that's amazing! Congratulations.
Great, thank you.
I'd say I've developed event management quite a bit, which is not something that I had kind of any experience in before I started. And I've also just kind of a lot of like admin skills, you know, stuff like databases and Excel kind of stuff, and a lot of uh, like like oh my god, what's the word? GDPR, like all that kind of like compliance and privacy stuff that I kind of really needed to get down. Like it's really good to put on my CV just to for people to know that I do know about all that kind of like privacy stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, so I found that I've been able to engage with things such as there was a placement week earlier on in the year, and I was actually given the opportunity to put on a session and talk to other students that were considering doing placements about what it entails. So, you know, instead of just sort of having the promotion, they can actually talk to somebody one-on-one. You know, what does it involve? What does the process look like? What happens if your placement isn't necessarily directly related to your degree? And it was such a valuable session, both for me and for the other students that attended as well. That was really, really good. And we've also had the opportunity, you know, as Faith said, to sort of expand on our knowledge with other courses. I've taken part in an Information Advice and Guidance Level 2 course, which is really good for career coaching. And just being a part of all the other events. As part of our career coaching role, one of the main things that we do is student interactions as well. So supporting students with all their employability needs. So that means, you know, we get to develop our sort of active listening, our communication skills, interpersonal skills, because you're engaging with different people every single day. It's just really enhanced any sort of skills that I'd say I had previously from, you know, other jobs or from education. It's just really helped me to sort of solidify them.
Yeah, I can develop on that as well. Obviously, I'm doing that information advice and guidance course as well. So we're sort of doing the same sort of thing there because we obviously have the same SPO role in that sense. So it's been a great sort of one just to have that extensional knowledge just to develop on as well. It's great that you got a qualification from it as well. It's additional to everything else. I think it is, like you said, the sort of transferable skills that we've got in there, sort of the communication-based things, and obviously I'm education-based. But having this sort of career knowledge also helps with sort of the wider issue and the wider industry that you maybe not might think about. You might think about, oh, yes, but you can then see the sort of route you can get into that. You see about postgraduate studies, things like that as well. You can see the sort of the wider tracks into things, and you can appreciate sort of there's some things we've promoted, sort of global and sort of international and national events and campaigns. We did one for this sort of National Disability History Month, I think it was, and as a part of me, I sort of managed some of the social media as well. So that's something else I've developed, my sort of social media skills there, and we get to sort of do that sort of creative way of doing that, and sort of be able to promote the sort of, you know, minority and sort of other groups like that. So we've got to do some sign language and promote it that way. So it's been a great one, just to sort of raise awareness as well for certain things. So, you know, doing sort of your sort of personal development, professional development, and academic development, as well as getting that sort of wider industry knowledge as well, I think.
Awesome. So I was a GPO, so graduate version of you guys. And one of the things that I didn't realise until after I completed it was how much of an interest I had outside of my own course. So I come from a film background, spent 5 years making films, and now I'm in this sort of like role, you know, with student-facing stuff, teaching and stuff like that. So I'm actually just curious, and I'll just go around the table again, you know, the question I want to ask is, how do you find it now that you've gone outside of that bracket of your modules themselves, your degrees? Like, are you finding it interesting and engaging? You know, are you developing new skills, things like that? Is it a career path that you didn't first think you want to go down, sort of thing?
I mean, I'm doing esports, and my role here is the events officer. So in esports, they do cover event management, marketing. So it crosses over a bit, but it's more going down the event management, hospitality, and management route. So I find it is useful. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah, this role is like a godsend, I will be honest, because I'm doing forensic investigation. I was originally on the 4-year course, and then in like January, February, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do a 4-year course. I don't want to get a master's. Like, I don't want to do forensics. I don't want to do anything to do with science. And then I got this role, and I was like, this is amazing. I don't have to do science. I found something that I really like to do. I love admin work. I love being behind the scenes, kind of keeping on top of all like kind of like databases and stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I'm having a good time, you know.
I've actually found that it's changed my outlook completely. So starting my degree, I chose it because it was something I had an interest in, doing psychology and criminology, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do on completion of my degree. And doing this role has allowed me to experience something completely different. I found that, you know, I love working with students, I love being in a higher education setting, so much so that now this is actually what I want to do. I want to go into working in careers or within support services in a higher education setting. And I'm actually looking at next year, once I've completed my degree, doing a master's in careers development and management as well.
Awesome, that's great to hear.
You'll be amazing. Yeah, I think again, on all that, it's sort of developmental points for me. I think is the fact that it's not something that I'd sort of consider as a full-on career necessarily. Working in careers as a career seems fun, doesn't it? But I think the fact that obviously it is education that I want to go down the route of, but equally the fact that there are roles like career advisors in schools, and again working with sort of the higher age that you were on about. I was, you know, usually sort of primary school age or high school age, you kind of choose that sort of level. But equally at this point, it's shown that I've got skills I didn't even know I had. So sort of having that, you know, the dexterity to be able to work with adults and have those sort of advisory skills and sort of guiding towards career choices is actually quite, makes you feel quite grown up actually. Maybe sort of like securing your skills and sort of your knowledge base and sort of help you develop on that, and gives you that sort of wider reach of opportunities and you might not think of, I think, as well.
Definitely. So I like asking this one. What has been one of the greatest or best experiences in your role, sort of, and why? Why is that?
I think I'll jump back to that when I said about the signing that I did for that promotion. I think it was just a really great time because everyone's so supportive, and they're always looking for new ways to sort of encourage students to get involved with careers and how to sort of raise awareness, and so that cross-directional multi-approach across lots of different things that we're trying to sort of connect with students and sort of initiatives and schemes, as well as promoting our own career services. I think it was a really lovely way that we got to sort of, I contacted a sort of local BSL group that I knew about, sort of contacted them for translations, and I did a piece fully signed, and I got the whole of the department pretty much to sign a phrase, and we got to do that and put it out across our social media just to show that sort of solidarity. I thought it was a really beautiful moment just to have that, everyone teamed together absolutely full of energy, and everyone was just absolutely for it. They weren't, you know, negative or, you know, worrying about it. They were much, yep, let's do it, let's go for it. They're very encouraging. I think it just shows the sort of environment. There's a really positive environment. I think was really good and special.
Yeah, I think jumping off the back of that, you know, I'd completely agree. The team are so encouraging, they're so supportive. They're all about your personal development, your professional development, and you are given so many opportunities. You know, I mean, with our events, we get to network. As I sort of touched on before, you know, being a part of Placement Week and being able to deliver a session, that was something that was sort of really instrumental, really, I suppose, in getting an idea of really what it's like to work in a higher education setting, along with doing the career coaching work, you know, working alongside other professionals that are in careers, other people that, you know, work within the wider university as well, external partners, students, just really getting that all-round knowledge of what it's like working within a setting. But to be able to do that within such a supportive team who really do just offer so much, and they give so much of themselves to you as well to help you, is just amazing. You know, it's an experience that you'll never forget.
It's a really positive learning environment, isn't it? Yeah.
I'd say that one of my favourite projects to work on was GradX. I didn't have that much involvement in it just because I am in the mentoring team, so we only did have a small part of that. but I just really liked I was on the front lines for a bit. I was handing out like name tags, I was networking, it was really fun. But it was so stressful. It was so stressful just trying to get everything all together, but it went so well and we were so happy with it. And that was just a really fun experience for me, just kind of being stuck in there, like right in the middle of it. It was just really cool.
Last but not least.
Yeah, mine's GradX as well, since I went around towards GradX is doing the social media for the careers at Staff's Instagram. And I got to experience GradX as a student alongside working a year before. It would be my turn to present at GradX next year. So I got to see what goes on behind the scenes and on the day.
Do you think that's made you more prepared for next year?
Yeah, since I know what I'm looking at for next year. Yeah.
Awesome. It sounds like you've all grown quite a bit in this role, and it's great to hear about your experiences and some of the skills you've picked up on. I'm going to go around the room once more and just ask, do you think it has been beneficial? Do you think other people should sign up?
Absolutely, 100%. No doubt in my mind. I think just having that extra perspective on there, the fact that myself and Jem are both mature students, so it's not just that route of, come straight from college into a job. The people that might be thinking, oh, like maybe it's for, the lower certain years, they might be picking and choosing, just apply for it. If you're out, just apply for it. I think generally maybe target level 5, sort of for the sandwich year sort of approach, because then you do the last year afterwards. But equally, I'd just apply for it. Absolutely go for it. I've got a child as well and also disabled, so I've said this before, nothing can hold you back. Don't let it stop you. Just apply for it. Go for it. They'll absolutely accommodate for you. They'll make any adjustments that you need. They're just absolutely amazing. Just go for it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I definitely go for it. It's an experience that you'll never forget. You learn so much from doing it. As Siobhan said, I'm also a mature student, so it was a big thing to decide to go to university once I'd already been working. You've still got to have that income coming in, and to be able to do this as a paid role alongside my studies meant that not only was I just going out working, doing a part-time job, I was doing something that actually I loved, but also it was expanding my knowledge, my skills in so many ways that are so valuable. And as I said, I've now found this is a path that I want to take. This is what I want to do as a career. But yeah, I think for anybody considering it, 100% do it. If you don't think it's, 100% relevant to your course, that's okay. You'll learn these transferable skills, you'll get the experience. You might even find that there's something that you don't like doing. That's completely fine too, because then you know more of what you want to do when you go out into the world of work. It is such an amazing experience, and I know that everybody who is taking on for the SPO roles, everyone's just so supportive. They're really excited about being able to just pass on some of their knowledge and be able to sort of enhance your experience and your skills. And yeah, do it.
We can tell you for a fact that all the faculty value the student opinion so much as well. The fact that we've been at the amount of times they've come to us as a student for that point of reference, it's great for them to have that input from you as well, so they can benefit from you being there. That's what is worth noting.
Yeah, I mean, I would absolutely say yes. Go for it. Apply. I mean, you never know, It's just a great way to get just some experience and just to work on skills that you didn't even know that you needed to work on, and just to experience what it is to be in the workplace. You learn so much about etiquette, and everyone's just so friendly. Everyone's so friendly. If you're just making friends just in the workplace, it's just a really nice place to be. So I think everyone would enjoy it. So go ahead.
Yeah, I would recommend it as well, since it's flexible alongside your studies. It's on campus as well for most of the roles, I assume. And you can build up your employability with skills. You can gain new skills you didn't know, to boost your CV as well. Yeah.
Awesome. I wish I'd taken one. I wish they were around when I was studying. I know, innit? It's it's great to see how far the university's come. Because these roles, I think they're relatively new. Especially, I know from the GPO role, I was the first wave, very much the testing. So I don't know if you guys are too, but you know, it's great to see that those are now starting to become more of a commonplace. So, where can students find and sign up? The most important question of the day: how can me as a student come and join you guys?
Yeah, so we have lots of resources. You know, you can book appointments and everything by going onto the Career Connect portal. So you can access that through the Staffordshire University website under careers, and just sign in as a student, use your university credentials as you would with anything else. As soon as you're in there, there's a lot for you to access. So lots of amazing resources. As I say, you can book an appointment with the team as well, anything that you need employability related. So once you get into the portal, there's a part called Handshake, which you will see the logos dotted about for. And once you're on there, you'll be able to see the roles that are on there as well. So you'll be able to explore different jobs and placements that are on there, and sign up for the roles there. But if you do have any questions, anything that you want to know about the roles, you can also email experience@staffs.ac.uk. And that's for the placements team specifically, or for any sort of wider employability questions, careers@staffs.ac.uk.
Great, good to know.
Amazing, that one's just off the tongue, off the top of your head, you know.
You're a natural. I can say natural. Well, thank you very much for all coming and joining me today. It was great to hear about everything you've been up to. Hopefully, you know, this role continues for you and you expand even more and you manage to find an even better job by the end of your university experience. For all of our lovely listeners today, thank you for your time, for listening in. There will be resources down below in the comments. Thank you very much. If the next podcasts, we've got stuff about AI and digital libraries, so feel free to tune into those and look around for TILE Hub's upcoming events. Thank you very much.